I had these thoughts. I was thinking to myself, maybe I should patch some things up in my life.
Okay.
With some people. I was feeling good. It was weird. I'm usually never feeling good.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's not normal for me.
Okay.
So I was feeling good about life, about friendships, about just a lot of different things. And I remembered someone told me once that her husband had that same kind of feeling really good about things and about life. And he even reached out to people and told them that he was sorry and reached out to people to let them know that he forgave them.
Mm-hmm.
And she said he died shortly after.
Mm.
So I stopped having those feelings immediately once I remembered. I said, no, I'm not patching nothing up. Actually, I'm back.
No,
Hey, Dark Moe is here to stay.
I think you should do it because
Wait, what?
I went through a phase in my life where I wanted to reach out to people and apologize or say I forgive you, whatever. And I'm still here. This was years ago.
So, did you mean it?
Absolutely.
So it could go either way.
What do you mean? Like
it's a 50-50.
Either way, as in like you can mean it or not?
Her science tells me that could be the end. Your science tells me it may not be. So it's a 50-50.
Yeah, but which side do you believe in?
I believe in the dark side that says 100% I'm here to stay. So, welcome to In the Moment.
I'm in the moment. Stay in the moment. Yeah, hey, look, check. I'm in the moment. They try to hold me down, I just re-up and then I just reload it. Yeah, hey, look, just stay in the moment.
I want to forgive. Mm-hmm. I'm working on it. Okay. See, the thing about forgiveness, because shout out to my grandmother, she sends these forgiveness texts all the time. And I read them, and I let them sink in, and I process them. At the same time, though, I wonder if my grandmother thinks about when you forgive someone, they have to be sorry. Mm-hmm. How you forgive someone that's not sorry?
Well, yeah, that's different. If they're not sorry, then
I think I'm in dark Moe mode today.
Okay.
OG listeners of In the Moment know exactly what that means. Newer listeners may not stick around. What that means. You're gonna find out just like the new listeners, Nate. If you are new here, my name is Mo Mitch. That is my co-host, Nate, widely known on the internet as Mother Nature, who lives in her car and travels the world, but as of lately has only been living in her car.
Now, I'm going to have to let you know and let everyone know that this is going to be my last show because I'm leaving. I'm leaving on Thursday.
I didn't even say I was going to let you get it off. I was going to let you get it off. Jay-Z has toured for the last time 15 times, and he keeps getting y'all every time he come back with a stadium tour to perform the same songs from 47 years ago. Y'all run and buy those $4,000 tickets so that he can live on his yacht. I'm not falling for that, Nate, and I'm not falling for what you got going on either, okay? You done came back as Michael Jordan at 4'5" a few times.
I'm leaving on Thursday. It's happening. I'm leaving Thursday.
Okay. This is a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, can we do a poll? Who in here believes you'll see Nate next Monday? But while hoping everything goes well. Okay, hoping you get back on the road soon.
Yeah, really soon on Thursday.
Okay. All right, stick around for Nate's last show. All right, let's tell him why I'm mad.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
I wanted to start off with a dark joke because it's funny and we're in dark mode today, right? So I read this joke, and I don't know why my algorithm shows me dark jokes. Actually, I do know why, because I click on them and like them every time. But this one is not too bad. There's a text between two brothers. One says, "Bro, I'm missing my country." The other one says, "It's only been a month since you left." He said, "How is my cat then?" He says, "Oh, bro, she died." He says, "What? You tell me like this?" The brother says, oh, well, how am I supposed to tell you? He said, slowly. Well, today you could have said, she's playing on the roof. Then tomorrow, she fell off the roof and got sick. And the next day, she died. Anyway, how's my grandma? He said, she's playing on the roof. I thought that was hilarious. All right, let's get into dark mode. Nate, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
I was I was scrolling through your Instagram.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, not scrolling through it, but
Okay.
one of your stories popped up and I watched it.
Okay.
And I thought it was funny. Well, 2 stories actually. One was you did your own version of the bucket challenge when you were sitting on the bucket. That was hilarious. There was another video where you did something I've never seen anyone do in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You farted on cue.
What?
Oh.
Yo, I've never seen this. She was doing a video and you said something about, and because y'all, I know what y'all gonna say. No, it's not gas. Sorry. And I was like, yo, how the hell do you fart on cue?
Well, I'm honestly trying to remember which video that was because I've done it many times. So I don't know.
I think you were explaining your condition to people and saying what was going on in your life. And you was like, y'all, I know y'all gonna say it's gas because I be farting, but it's not gas. And then you farted like as a punchline. And I was like, yo, she just farted as a punchline. This is amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I've done a few videos like that explaining my health and then passing gas.
Right on cue.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like a thing that I have. Like if I stand up and bend over, it's out of here.
It's all right.
Every time.
If you don't cut that up and send it out, if I stand up and bend over, good night, folks. Okay. Y'all think I'm playing. This is talent. Because I saw on the algorithm, after I saw that some woman started her first annual fart art.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, she's farting on paper with like some kind of coloring powder,
Okay.
and she sold out.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think she could fart whenever she wants. Like she don't got it like you got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should try fart art.
I will check that out. I have had people reach out to me for farts and jars. They requested farts and jars.
I heard about that, and they
Yeah.
sell it, right?
Right? It's a thing.
How much do they sell it for?
I can't remember, but let me tell you, I need to get it together, okay? Because this is happening when I get on the road. I need to make gas money.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Gas money
Gas
is
money.
insane right now for work. And for what it's going for right now. Yes, I saw somebody say, if gas get cheap again, I'm going to put it in the freezer. Can someone who wants fart in a jar please write and explain to me what it is that you enjoy about farting, like wanting somebody's fart in a jar?
Yeah, I don't know. There's all kinds of kinks, all kinds of different kinks.
Where do you sell that?
Probably
Marketplace?
Hey, you never know. Probably OnlyFans, maybe Instagram. Like if you have an Instagram account and you're known for, because you know you have the BBWs, you have the feet pics and all that stuff. So it's probably Instagram. Like you can just look it up. Farts and jars.
Farts in jars. Gas out the ass. Coming to you soon. Now, something else you said, Nate, and I thought about this on the delay. You know how somebody says something in the moment, you don't catch it, but then later you think about it? And then I laughed to myself because when you first came over to the new studio, you said, wow, you guys are far.
Yeah.
From where?
Hey, listen, I know wherever I park.
You walked from the driveway. Wait. No, because I really thought about it. I said, so how do you measure that?
I mean, and how long it took me to get here from where I was. Like, how else do you measure it?
Because, like, it's based on where you were.
Yes, that is true. But then it's also based on where I'm going.
Do you always go back to the same place?
Not all the time.
Huh. So how often do you stay in the same place?
It depends on if it's a good spot.
Okay.
Like I've been at places where it's okay to park as long as you want. And I've been to places where I was trying to be inconspicuous, but someone actually, they didn't know who I was, but they knew that I was in there. So they pulled up next to me and they were honking their horn and they were yelling to me in the car. I was in bed and he was like, "Hey, are you hungry?
What?
Do you want some breakfast?"
What voice did she just do? What image do you have in your head from the voice she just did?
Like a farmer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I never saw him, but he pulled, he pulled up next to my car because I'm still in bed. So I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And was I in Phoenix? Yes, I was in Phoenix. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do that day. And this guy pulls up to me and he honks his horn and he's yelling out of his window asking if I want breakfast. He was going to take me to have breakfast.
Was he? Was he nice?
I would have gone. That would have been interesting. But no, I mean, I'm still in bed. I'm still in my pajamas. So I just laid there. I ignored him. And then he was like, "All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes." And then he left and he came back.
Why are you coming back? Why? You ignored
I think
him.
He wanted to make sure that I didn't want any breakfast. And I did.
He wanted you to smell the bacon. I ain't gonna say no to this. Can't say no to this.
I did. I did want some breakfast, some bacon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just ignored him. I didn't.
So
take
even
him
when he
up
came
on-
back, even when he.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. And then eventually he drove off.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So in situations like that, I'm not going to go back to that spot. So I'm just going to go park somewhere else. But it was a really good spot.
The thing I love about your stories is like you never know where they're going. Like just when I think I have it mapped out, because I was just certain somebody snitched on you and they got you kicked out and you had to find another spot. No, he just offered you breakfast. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's a great segue into my first topic, or my next topic, I should say, on why I'm mad. I have a hot take, I think. And I want to see if y'all agree with it or disagree with it. People always say how hard dating is.
Okay.
And they make it like it's the hardest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And every state or city they live in is the worst state or city to date on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one, no matter where they live, right? I think people are full of it. I don't think dating is that hard.
Okay.
I don't. Now, hear me out, right? Now, first off, do y'all agree or disagree with that statement off rip?
That dating is not hard.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on if you're looking for something specific. It can be. But if you're open to just meeting people and seeing where it goes and you don't have any expectations on certain things, then it can be fun.
You know what? Let me change my wording. It's not that it's not hard. I just think it's relatively hard. It's just as hard as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
People make it seem like dating is so much harder. To me, it's not. I
Right.
think at some point, dating sites made us believe that it was impossible to find the person you're looking for without dating sites, which worked incredibly well for dating sites. Everybody got mad rich. I really do think it's how you date. It's the same thing with life. Life is hard. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It can be a lot harder depending on the way you go about it and the decisions you make. If you out here casting a wide net and you're looking for something very specific, like you said, it's not going to be the most fun. But if you don't do it often enough, it's also not going to be the most fun. You got to find that medium ground of not wasting your time and at the same time putting some effort into it. And if you're patient, eventually it pays off for the majority of people. And I think dating sites and all of these surveys that tell you it is so impossible, when you really think about it, I know men that are single that it is not difficult for them to date at all. And they don't have a lot going on. And they dating just fine. It's not that it's hard. It's literally how you do it. And another reason I know dating sites are full of it. The first thing dating sites do is get all of your qualities, right? All of the things that they think you are. And then they try to match it up with somebody who is similar. Old school relationships that really lasted the test of time, them two people are nothing alike.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not even close. Opposites have been attracting for a very long time. That's all I'm saying. I don't know two people that really got all of the same qualities and make the best couple. I haven't seen it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
What you got?
I understand. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. I don't want that to be my takeaway. But I think people lose hope because of the fact that that's all you hear is how hard it is, how difficult it is. And it's not the easiest of things, but it's not impossible. You can do it. A lot of people who think it's so hard sit at home and don't get out there. You have to get out there. You have to try different things. You have to and then you have to be willing. I know a lot of people, they have let the good guy go many of time. He was a great guy. He was in your space. He was right there. And vice versa. You had a good woman in your life. You ain't treated her right, whatever the case. And then now, after you done let 2 or 3 good ones get away, you're like, it's so hard. I wonder why.
Do you think people's expectations are too high?
Yes. I think
Both
that's another
men
piece
and
of
women
it.
or women?
Don't get no gender war started in here with me. I think both. I think on both sides to a certain extent. I mean, social media, I think, plays a part in it. Social media dictates what people believe is easy and what's hard today. And I don't think social media should dictate life. I think it does too often. And yes, some expectations are through the roof. Some people are having a difficult time looking at what they present and then what they want to possess. And it's sometimes it's not balanced, it's not level. Sometimes it's your decision making. It's a lot of different factors that go into why you haven't met your person if you are searching for your person. And no, it's not easy. I just also don't think it's that hard. It's what you put into it. You'll get out of it what you put into it. That's what I think. What y'all got? Anything?
I agree.
Yeah, I just think sometimes people's expectations are a bit too high.
Well, I just remembered something. I remembered when I went through this phase for 2.5 years where I exclusively dated men. And this was probably like 2016 to 18 or maybe 15 to, somewhere around there. And I can say that was hard. Dating men and finding a man that I can like develop something with. Every single date I went on, every guy, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Were you vetting these guys?
Of course, absolutely.
Do you think you were doing a good job?
Yeah, I'm really good at that.
Do you think it's possible that you're not, Nate?
No, I think I'm really good at that.
But don't you think everybody has a bit of delusion to them?
No.
That's delusion in its finest form. And again, I don't know everybody's story. And I'm not saying it's not hard. I don't want that to be the takeaway. I'm saying it's not as hard as people make it seem. It's not any more difficult than it is to do a lot of the other things we have to do every day. Raise kids, go to work, make a living. All of these things are hard. But I think they want you to believe it's so much harder than it is so that you can give up and then believe that you need these dating sites and you need to go to fart jar conventions in order to meet people. And I'm telling you that prayer still works. I know a lot of people who have prayed and they found what they were looking for. I've talked to them all the time. And I don't think enough people put the right energy into dating to get the right energy out of it. And everybody's not willing to look in the mirror and see what they may be doing wrong. You could be putting bad energy out. That's why you're attracting what you are. You could not be vetting well. You could not be necessarily taking the proper precautions to make sure that you are in the space of people who will value your time. And if you can look within yourself to fix some of those things, a lot of the time you'll realize that your output has a little bit to do with your input. That's all I'm saying. You know something I really miss?
Tell me.
That everyone said I would and I didn't think I would?
Okay.
Being carded. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
When someone asks you for your ID?
Yeah.
Like, I miss the days of when they would ask for my ID. They just give it to me now.
Yeah, I realized that as well.
I'm offended. Like, I'll be waiting for the moment. Like, oh yeah, you know, give me a beer, whatever the case. They, okay, here you go. Anything else? Yeah, ask for my ID. And I got mad at this until I went to Colorado for a day to pull up on my mother. Shout out to my mother.
Hey.
She just had a book signing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to her. It was amazing. It was really dope. It was in this place called the Governor's Mansion, I believe was the name. So you can imagine how nice this place was. Everybody showed out. It was a great look. But I'm getting there, and we have to go to the mall. And while the ladies are doing their shopping thing, me and my guy go over to the bar. And in that moment, I realized that my ID, everything is in the car.
Mm.
And we parked far because we didn't know where to park. It was a whole thing. And she's like, I'm going to need your ID. I said, oh, this is the time? I haven't been carded in years. This is the time. So I'm like, I left it in the car. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I can't do it. I'm like, the car is like super far. And she's like, I'm sorry. Now the guy I'm with, this is my best friend, but he's Mexican. He's 40. Mm-hmm. So what kind of relationship we got that you think he's 40 and I'm not 21? I almost wanted to ask her, like, what you think is happening? What kind of, but she made me go back and get it, and I did, but it was a whole journey, and I was like, that's life. Because I wanted someone to card me all of this time, and the one time that she does, look what I had to go through. But you don't get carded anymore?
Not as frequently as I used to.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I'll get carded sometimes, but I feel like I don't even go places to get carded like that.
What, like bars? What, are you better than us? I don't do the alcohol thing, so I wouldn't know.
No, but you know what I mean.
No, I do. Last reason I'm mad. I want someone to think about this. I was hanging out with one of my best friends, and he reminded me of a time when we got into a fight. Not him and I and some other guys. And we won the fight. But we lost the war. Because winning the fight, we didn't start the fight, but we won the fight, and then we ended up having to spend the night in jail. And I'll never forget my jail experience. If you've ever had to spend a night in jail, it's an experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't get my chance.
You still want to. Trust me when I tell you I've done it for both of us, Nick. It's not fun. It is different for women. I think I told you that the last time, didn't I?
How do you know that?
Well, because it's not
us.
prison. I've never been to prison.
Okay.
That's the big leagues. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different ballgame. Mm-hmm. The jail, sometime, depending on the way that your jail is set up, there are jails where they'll have 2 cells because it's a holding cell. Most of the time, you either in and out or they taking you to booking where you're going somewhere different. And there'll be 2 cells, and then there's one for women, there's one for men. And in my experience, which has only been a time or two, there's always like 12 men in the guy cell and 1 woman in the woman's cell because you can't put them together, and women are not getting arrested on Friday night like men are, at the rate that men are.
Gotcha.
So it's better in those cases to be somewhat, because you got to fake sleep because the guys bother you the whole night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll try to cuddle with you through the bars.
Oh, okay.
What?
They're in jail, which I expect.
Well, I didn't make it to my jail cell. Remember that time I told you? So I don't know. I wanted to see what it looked like.
It's bars, walls, and a toilet.
I mean, I've seen it in
a
movies,
cold ass bench.
But I wanted to see. I wanted to experience it.
Take a jacket.
Okay.
You're gonna need it. Being in jail with no jacket is freezing, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I think they have a show where you can like sign up to go to jail, be like an undercover.
60 days in.
Oh,
that's one. Have you ever heard of it?
60 days?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to, but that's the goal. See, look at you. You want
I was like,
look at you
hold on.
already. Yeah. Yeah. 60 days.
Okay. All right.
How long you want to do it for?
I mean, if it's 60 days, I'll do 60 days.
You want to do like the school trip they used to take you on. In New York, I think in 5th grade, they would take you to the jail. Hey, look at the walls, and have one of the inmates.
He
come out, yell at you. Don't come. No, but before Scared Straight, before MTV, they did that to us in 3rd grade.
That's what they did?
Yeah, it was in like 3rd grade. They made us sit in the cell.
We never did that. Our
You
school,
didn't do that?
No.
Yeah, the police officer. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It might have been like 5th grade.
Were you in like an alternative school?
I was in a regular public school.
Okay.
I was in PS 38. It was a public school, but it was regular school.
Okay.
They took us to the jail. Y'all didn't go to the jail?
No, we did not. That's why I've been wanting to see it all this time.
Well, let me guess. Y'all didn't have metal detectors in your school either, did you?
No.
Yeah, I bet. All right, I grew up in a different place. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, when I was in jail, there was a guy, and my friend brought this up because he was like, yo, he was, I guess, trying to make a point that no matter what your situation was in life, you always preaching. And he's always making fun of me for it. Because we were in jail once, and I forgot this happened, but it made so much sense to me. And looking back on it, I was stupid for saying it, but I get what I was doing. This guy comes in, and he's bragging about how he just got into a fight with another guy. He's telling one guy the story, but he's telling all of us the story because he's loud and we don't have anything else to do. And he's like, yeah, some guy was bothering her. He wouldn't stop bothering her. So I stepped in like a man is supposed to do. We got to fighting. The next thing you know, guns came out and it went down, and he's just bragging on all of this. He's like, I handled my business. I did what I had to do. So, but it was self-defense. I'm cool. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's an interesting story. Now he starts making his way, like his rounds. I don't know why. He's meeting everybody. He's like this guy. He's trying to establish himself.
That would have been me.
You going in there asking everybody how they're doing?
Yeah.
I'm in jail, Nate. It's not my best day, all right? I don't want to talk to anybody. You don't be that person that's trying to talk to everybody. Nobody likes that person.
Okay.
But you're going to do it anyway. I know. There's going to be a long 60 days for you. So the guy gets to me, and he starts talking to us, and I don't think I'm saying anything, but I think my friend was. And I couldn't take it anymore. I just had to ask him. Like, that's my problem a lot of the time. I always bring truth into a world full of lies, as my friend always says. So I was like, hey, quick question. And he said, what's up? I said, all that you was just talking about, I feel you. Like, you handled your business. You're a real one. But you did all of that to protect her? He was like, yeah. And I said, well, who's protecting her now? And I will never forget the look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reality of, damn. While everybody else in here is impressed,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand how this story made you feel like you did something worthy of praise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate to tell you, but if I had to put money on who I think is protecting her now, it's the guy you beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and who knows how long you're going to be in here for. And I think a lot of people make decisions like that and don't think about the full ramifications of your decision.
Mm-hmm.
You have to protect your family, but you also have to be available to protect your family.
Mm-hmm.
The best ability is availability. And I put that in his mind, and my dude was like, damn, I wonder if he really just thought of that. And he probably changed his life
Mm-hmm.
after you told him. I said, nah, he's probably back in jail, but I hope so. I hope so. But hey, those 3 seconds, man, it could ruin your life. Just think before you move. That's all I'm saying. Someone said that a lion would never get a DUI, but a tiger would. Hey, it's dark hour and dad joke hour. Tiger Woods has been arrested in Florida for a DUI again.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was thinking about this, Nate. What should my take be on Tiger Woods getting arrested for a DUI right after there was another man in the woods who was arrested for the same? Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And somebody said they own bars, right? They own bars together. Do you know this?
Justin
And Tiger Woods, allegedly.
Okay.
I didn't know that either. And what did they say? They should have called it drinking and driving?
Something like that, yeah.
This is my take on this is what I genuinely feel about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is one of the greatest and most decorated athletes of all time, right? That's not even debatable.
Mm-hmm.
And it also takes so much discipline to become that elite level of an athlete. Discipline. Tiger Woods is also the same guy who now the Secret Service will not allow him to drive his niece and nephews, I believe, or something to that extent around. Did y'all hear about this?
Mm-mm.
No.
So Tiger Woods is dating Donald Trump Jr.'s former wife.
Mm-hmm.
And the Secret Service has now looked at his life, assessed the danger, as they're supposed to, and said, okay, this guy had a DUI in 2017. He had another one where he was doing double the speed limit and drove his car off of the cliff or whatever it was and broke his leg. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was another incident. And then now this is the third incident.
Mm-hmm.
They won't let him drive the kids around.
Mm.
They said, no, sir. And I just think it's so interesting that you can have so much discipline in one part of your life and lack an ounce of it
Mm-hmm.
in another. And now he's in the woods again. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't agree with the Secret Service.
I mean, yeah, he shouldn't be driving.
Period.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to. Why do all of these rich men? I remember what you told me last week. It's like they want some sense of normalcy. No, don't want it. The same way I'm telling y'all Nate don't want to go to jail. You celebrities don't want normalcy. You don't want this. It's overrated to have to drive yourself everywhere. I don't want to do this.
But see, the other thing is that they're not really going to get in any trouble.
I know. That is the other thing. They always get out the woods. They always do. You're right. There is no real accountability. And the more I think about it, Justin Timberlake didn't get to I'm Justin Timberlake fast enough. Right? Like that should have been, he should have got out with suit and tie playing and just started dancing. He should have started dancing immediately for the officer. He was trying to be humble. That's why he went to jail.
Yeah, I think that he was trying to not have to go there.
Right. You got to use, what do you have it for? Well, as soon as you pull up, I'm Justin Timberlake. How can I help you, officer? What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I worked with a celebrity who I worked with him. And
That's a good story, Nate.
And so there was a time that I had to do something for them, but the cutoff day had or the cutoff time had already passed. And it was like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, but it's like the airport. And, you know, I don't fly, but I've heard like if you're late, you're late. They're not gonna. And so I'm on the phone with this actress and she's like, just tell them my name. And I was like, are you sure you want me to do this? Tell them my name.
Yeah, you heard me.
So yeah, I did. And they made it work.
See, and I know a guy who used to work with a celebrity. And he said he used to just roll down a window. That's it. He said he would be speeding all of the time. And he had to tell him, like, yo, bro, you could speed. And he was like, what? He's like, you can speed. What if we get pulled over? You can speed. And he said, sure enough, when they got pulled over, he would roll down the back window. Oh, have a good day. So yeah, like I'm telling you, immediately you got to go to that. That ain't the time to be humble. That's not the time. If a fan want a picture, time to be humble. Police want you to go to jail. Long as I got my suit and tie, y'all no, it's not the time. But and my last point with Tiger is I think everybody can learn from that. Everybody can learn from what the Secret Service did with Tiger Woods. See, this is back to what we were talking about, Nate. When you dating, you have to do that kind of work. You have to do Secret Service kind of work. You have to evaluate this person's life, assess the danger, and ask yourself, should you or anybody else be in their presence any longer than you have to? Because if you don't, you end up servicing a person with secrets.
Do you think that his girlfriend is going to stay?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Something tells me that family is not mad at a little controversy. Moving on.
I found the name of the spot. It says Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake co-founded T Squared Social, an upscale sports bar and entertainment venture in partnership with Nexus Luxury Collection and 8 a.m. Golf. And their flagship location is in Manhattan. They opened it in 2023. They have 2 locations.
Interesting.
Where's the other one?
Scotland. St. Andrews, Scotland. That was opened in 2025. So last year.
That's dope. They have like driving services from. Okay, forget it. Did anybody see the Tank versus Tyrese Verzuz?
No, and I didn't even really hear about it. I think it was maybe. Well, I guess it was the next day. I'd already missed it, so it wasn't like this big lead up. Like what was it? Cash Money and.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And who was that? Cash Money and No Limit.
Yeah.
Well, I won't stay here long for the music fans though. Yes, R&B singers, some would say legends, Tank and Tyrese went head up for a night of R&B. My take is not too long. I owe Tank an apology. I know more of Tyrese's records. And I figured stage presence and all of that was going to lean towards Tyrese because Tyrese literally has no mind. Like, this man is a fool. And I mean it in the most affectionate way. Like, I just think he's a fool. Like, he just don't care. And I did think he was a little nervous. If you listen to Tyrese's interviews, he was kind of saying, I don't think this should be a real versus. And he seemed nervous about it. But I didn't think Tank had the charisma and the stage presence that he actually did have.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like how would I know? Tank is for the ladies. So I knew he took his shirt off and licked his lips all the time, but that's all I really knew about Tank.
Okay.
But the man is funny. He definitely could sing. Everybody already knew that about him. But the stage presence, he was whooping Tyrese's ass. Like, it was bad. He came up with this whole melody about the man wearing a turtleneck.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got on that turtleneck. You recycled that turtleneck. You should take off that turtleneck. Anytime you feel like a take off that turtleneck, you gon' suffocate in this verse. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Oh, don't suffocate in his verses. Turtleneck. Oh, don't suffocate in his verses. Turtleneck. Hallelujah, fan him down, fan him down, fan him down. Turtleneck. Oh, break it down, whisper it, whisper it, whisper it. Turtleneck. Oh, whisper it, whisper it. Turtleneck. Turtleneck. That boy good.
Like, I think he canceled turtlenecks from now on. I saw Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith on Inside the NBA with 2 turtlenecks on the next day, and people were singing it to him. Turtlenecks. I was like, oh, it's over for turtlenecks. This man ruined it was bad. Tyrese is changing outfits as much as he's changing his sets. It was bad. He said something was going on with his DJ and the music, and he never recovered from that.
Okay.
If you were an OG fan of In the Moment, Keon was probably the DJ. I don't know how. Hey, shout out to bro. I don't hate. I don't know how he got back there to ruin Tyrese's set, but he did it. And I don't think Tyrese was prepared. I don't think he cared. I don't think he wanted to be there. They say he didn't even rehearse. They said Tank was in there rehearsing all day. You could tell Tank tours. He got a stage presence that you can tell he's up there putting in that kind of work. Tyrese is somewhere being a movie star, doing whatever you want to do. And it was one night where I just think Tank really put on, and he put belt to ass. And Tyrese wanted to get up out of there.
I'm going to watch it.
And wasn't he smoking?
Tyrese?
Yeah, when he first got, like, how you going to smoke when you about to sing?
The funny,
like, you can smoke, but I mean.
But then his singing he already knew he wasn't going to be able to sing with Tank, but he just didn't want to be there. You could tell. He put a couch behind him. He brought his lady out. Tank had his lady and Tyrese's background singers singing for Tank. Tyrese was the first one to use a song that featured Tank. I didn't think that was a smart move. Then Trey Songz came out in a Paco sweatsuit because apparently he was late.
Okay.
And he just had to pick something up from Marshall's or somewhere that was.
Oh my God.
I love Marshall's too. I'm joking. But he was up. Then Tyrese told him get off the stage. He's like, I'm done with you bringing all of these celebrities out here. We not doing all that. It was a lot. Then at the end, Tyrese was like, yo, I'm done. I'm out of here. Where's my valet? And he walked off the stage. But his girl was still up there. It was like, yo. Then he had to come back. It was bad. It was bad.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, you should. It was entertaining though. For what it was, it had its moments. Their jokes toward each other, I couldn't tell. It was one of those things where, are they friends? Are they not? But I tell you what, Tank got to be a pretty solid dude to be able to deal with Genuine and Tyrese in one group. It's like, that's a lot, yo. I have another take that I've been thinking about. Why do y'all think it seems to be human nature to abuse power?
I don't know.
I was thinking about this, and I don't know about you guys' experience. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel, but I don't know that power changes people, but I think it's a lot like money. It reveals who they really are. And a lot of times when I've had managers in different situations, bosses in different situations, they always moved in a way that you can tell the power had got to them. And let's go beyond that, right? Like, think about some of the jobs where people love the power trip. Security at the club, police officers, TSA agents, teachers, bosses. Help me out. Y'all
I
think of
think
it?
most positions, managerial positions.
All of those are in there. Like, I'm trying to think of some more. Shit, they'll do it at a fast food place if you let them. But when you think about it, it's like, in whatever little realm of life where you have some power, more times than not, it's abused.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this thought off of watching this homicide show on Netflix. I know I have a problem. Y'all know this about me. I watch a lot of true crime. But this poor woman who was murdered, she had a lot of employees.
Mm-hmm.
And all of her employees, every single one of them, no one had a bad thing to say about her.
Mm-hmm.
They were all devastated, like she was family to them. And you hear that a lot when you go to some of these places. We're family. And it's nothing close to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed to really be that way. And they all spoke on how she just managed them, was that she never oversaw them.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like everyone was equal to her. And I don't think I've ever known anyone who has managed power in that way. I've heard stories,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like 9 times out of 10, you put a person in position of power, and eventually you're going to start seeing things you don't like.
I think I would be one of those 1 of 10 people who wouldn't change much. I think so.
I would love to think that I wouldn't either.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the way that I treat people, I'm certain it wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm also a person who has tried to go into business with friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why that can be so difficult when they are not willing to put in the same amount of effort you are.
Mm-hmm.
And how you sometimes you do have to become a bit of a different person because it's a different environment, right? And I don't think that necessarily makes you a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes you a good business manager. But that's not really letting the power dynamic go to your head.
Mm-hmm.
I think is I can't say that you wouldn't do it. I don't know who would or who wouldn't. But I do. I mean, have y'all ever really seen a person manage power where it didn't change them at all?
One of my bosses was cool, like super cool.
And you would say one out of...
He was a director. That was his position. But I think people that act different once they get in power is because of something they've experienced themselves. That maybe they were younger, getting picked on, and now it's like this person reminds them of somebody that may have made fun of them, or just jealousy sometimes.
I get it. I feel like that's similar to when you'll have dads who are abusive to their kids or their
Right.
wives because their dad was and then their dad was. So I get that.
Even parenting.
Mhm.
That's another one where even relationships, in terms of a lot of the time, people will learn what they can get away with.
Mhm.
And they'll take advantage of that, right? In relationships, you see it. It could be all of these different dynamics. I just think about how when people are in a position of power, they tend to abuse it more often than they are careful with it.
Mhm.
And I just wonder why. I did think of my man, Jamie. This was my guy. He was the best manager I've ever had at CBS. And I remember him for that reason. He was just mad cool. And it doesn't mean that you are not a manager.
Mhm.
When he needed to be on me for something, he was on me. But it was just never, that man would get on me about something and then go buy me a beer the next day at lunch. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's who he was. He was just cool like that. To the point, it might have been because I had something on him. Now that I think about it, because I think I was maybe 2 months into this job,
Mhm.
and he hit me one day, and he was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I was like I'm gonna tell you anything other than working, working. And he's like, "All right, I need you to come to the bathroom, and I don't need you to ask a lot of questions."
That would be like my worst nightmare because I have questions.
Yes.
I'd be like, I can't ask anything.
Yo, you would do that, right? I was like, I kind of felt like, oh, this is one of those moments I always wanted. I always wanted somebody to hit me like, yo, get in the car. I can't tell you nothing. Like, let's do it. Right? So I'm like, all right, which one? He's like, right. He tells me. I'm like, bet. So I run in the bathroom. And I'm looking around. I don't know what's going on. And I hear him like in the stall doing something. I don't know what he's doing. So I say, yo. Right? He said, he throw the jeans over it. And I kind of look. They stained.
Mm.
He said, yo, I need you to go to the store for me. I had an accident. I said, what kind of accident? He said, no questions, remember. I said, yo, fam, what is going on? I said, what store you want me? He said, I don't care. Y'all know where I went, matter of fact? Marshall's, yes. It was right there. It was there for me. So I said, what do you want? He said, yo, I just need some jeans and I need a shirt. I don't care what it looks like. I need it immediately. I have a meeting in like 20 minutes or something crazy like that. So I'm like, oh, you kid. All right. So I kick out the door. I'm out. And I go to Marshall's and I try my best to find the sizes he asked for. Y'all know how Marshall's is. So everything is everywhere. So I'm like, I think I found some jeans that might have been a little too big. I remember the problem being I couldn't find jeans that didn't have holes in them. Mm-hmm. You know, Marshall jeans is wild for that because he had like Paco jeans in there. They got patches everywhere. They got the ones with the knees out. So I had to get them like the old school Wranglers. I had to get him the wide body joints. And then I got him like this little button-up shirt that was his size, and I got up out of there. Also had to do it fast. Mm-hmm. So I'm running now back to the joint, and I come in there. He's on the phone with his wife trying to explain to her what's going on in his life. And I'm like, yo, Jay, I got it. He's like, all right, throw it over. So I throw it over to him, and I go to the desk, and I see him. Eventually, he walks out. I see the jeans on the ground and the shirt not tucked in. He looked wild because there's nothing like he would normally wear. But he was good. And he came to me after. He said, yo, I owe you for the rest of my life. Like, you have no idea what you did for me. His wife had to come pick up the shitty clothes. And to this day, that's my man. A shout out to Jay. That's my man. I tell this joke on stage all the time. He don't care. But he never gave, he didn't give me the rest of the day off. And I thought that was shitty. All right, so the producer stepped into the studio and said, I have a surprise for you guys. And I think Nate thought it was going to be chocolate. I thought it was going to be money. We were both disappointed. It's an email. But it seems to be a juicy one. We have no idea what it's about, who it's from, or anything going on. And that is my favorite kind of email to read. So let's get to it.
All right. It says, hi, Moe and team. I'm writing in because I really need some perspective, and I feel like this is exactly the kind of real-life situation you talk about on the podcast. I share a 9-year-old son with my ex. Over the years, we've tried multiple times to make things work, but the truth is, it just doesn't. Despite that, I allowed him to continue living with us because I felt like I needed help raising our son and wanted him to have his father present. But the reality has been extremely difficult. He doesn't contribute financially at all, and at one point, he even took thousands of dollars from a safe in my home, money I earned from my side makeup gigs. On top of that, I helped him get a job as a doorman at a prestigious Upper East Side building, and I even trusted him to help renovate my new condo since he works in construction. He agreed, but then just stopped showing up altogether. At this point, I feel taken advantage of, disrespected, and honestly just exhausted. He's supposed to be moving out at the end of March, and I have to admit, I feel excited about it. But at the same time, I feel guilty because I want my son to have his father around. More than anything, I want my son to grow up with a strong example of what a man should be, someone who provides, protects, and shows up. His father isn't doing any of those things, and I'm struggling with what that means for my son long term. Am I wrong for feeling relieved and even excited about moving on? How do I balance creating a better environment for my child while still allowing space for his father to be in his life? And how do I move forward without guilt? Thank you for any advice you can give. A mom just trying to do the right thing.
I wouldn't be guilty about any of that. Like, what are you You're holding on to your son having a relationship with his dad, but it doesn't sound like they have a relationship. Like, it sounds like he's not involved. He's not paying any bills. He's not really doing anything. So yeah, he definitely is taking advantage of you, and I would be excited too.
Yeah, I appreciate the will to fight for the relationship between the man and his son. And I like the fact that she feels a way about not being able to make that happen, because that just signals that you're a good person to even care about that, because there are a lot of people who wouldn't. And But the truth of the matter is, I think it was K. Michelle who said it best. You can't raise a man. So there's not much you can do. That's out of your control. You put him in position and you leave the doors open for him to step up and do what he is supposed to do, but you can't get him to do it. You can't force him to do it, and you shouldn't have to coach him to do it. That's just something he should naturally want to do. And unfortunately, sometime in life we find out these things about a person too late. And that could be the position you're in, is that these are things that you probably should have considered before, but that ship has sailed and it's water under the bridge at this point. And this is where we are. And if he's not going to step up, then unfortunately you may have to step up until you find a stepdad.
I don't think she should feel guilty at all.
No, I don't either.
Why would you feel guilty if he's not only are you providing for him, but he stole money from you?
Right.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Nothing to feel guilty about.
Right. That's exactly why that was my response. I could
nothing
see
at all.
if he was doing everything that he was supposed to be doing, being hands-on, working, contributing, but because you no longer wanted to be in the relationship, you were adamant about him just getting out and not really caring about his relationship with his son. But he's not that. He's not participating. So do your thing. And congratulations. Like, you're almost done. You're one step closer to finding your real, true love.
True indeed.
Yes.
And see, this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about being in a position of power and abusing it, because I know so many women who wouldn't have this patience. And I know a lot of men who are jumping over hurdles in order to try to be a part of their son's life and to be a positive influence and do the right thing. And they're struggling with a woman who won't let them. And it seemed like the people who are for each other just never seem to be on it. You know what I mean? It's always someone who's taking advantage. And in this case, here he is with a woman that is this patient, and he's taking advantage by stealing and not being a good dad. And that's what I mean. Are y'all familiar with the decision that the UN just made?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. The UN passed a vote declaring that the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery to be the gravest crime against humanity and calls for reparations. For those who may not have heard, if this vote were to pass, it would now be stated that slavery is the most diabolical thing to happen to human nature,
Mm-hmm.
and that reparations should be paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the nations voted. 123 nations voted, I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
52 nations voted, they don't have a feeling either way. 3 nations voted against it.
Mm-hmm.
Who were the 3 nations?
That's the question. Argentina, Israel, and the United States of America.
Wow.
America has come out and said why they voted against it.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
They said that the first reason is because if they were to vote for it, then they would face legal ramifications.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to pay reparations.
Well, how much would it be?
33 trillion or something to that effect.
Per person.
I'm not sure if they did. I haven't done that math yet. I don't know if they've done that math yet.
Oh, okay.
But the second reason is because they don't believe that any of the atrocities that have happened in our nation should be held one above the other. There should be no hierarchy of the atrocities.
Okay.
I'll try not to be too political. At the same time, I know we're supposed to pretend that these things didn't happen. We're supposed to let it go. And I was just talking to my lady about this. I have a thing with this let it go thing. Because I feel like a lot of people have always in my life told me to let things go, let it go. And if I'm honest, it usually comes from a person I've watched make the same mistakes over and over.
Mm.
And that's why I struggle to let things go. And when I say I don't let things go, I think people automatically take that to mean I'm dwelling on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowing yourself to stay there and you're not moving forward beyond what's happened to you. When that couldn't be further from the truth. See, I see it more like a video game. We've been playing video games since we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you paid attention, it taught you something. When you put the game in for the first time it seemed like one of the hardest things you were ever going to do. You couldn't figure it out, right? You kept losing. You kept dying. You have to start over and over and over. And as you play the game, eventually you start to realize, oh, this person is coming from the left. I got to jump. Then when I get to this level, I got to hit the coin so I can level up, right? Then I got to get to, you learn the ropes. You learn how people are moving. And so now you can operate in that space a lot easier. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, you beat the level. Then you beat it a couple times, it becomes easy. That same level that used to give you all that problem is now easy. Why? Because you learned the movements. Mm-hmm. You held on to the information that you needed in order to move in a way that you would not face those same challenges the same way. And they become easier. That's why I don't let things go. Mm-hmm. That's why there are certain things in life that once you show me who you are, I believe you. I'm not going to go make the same mistake. I know this guy's coming from the left. Why would I sit there and let him hit me again? Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. That's what letting it go looks like for a lot of people. And I feel like that's exactly what America is telling us to do. Let it go. It's in the past. How many times have we heard that from someone who didn't want to be accountable? Mm-hmm. It's all the same to me. Some people may not understand. There were 12 to 15 million African men, women, and children who were captured and sent to the Americas and forced to become slaves. Like, do people understand that? Mm-hmm. That was centuries of lives for innocent people. And to me, it's no different than when you watch these children who work in these factories and these children who all of these horrible things happen to in recent times. No one cares. Mm-hmm. And for this nation that I live in, that I love, that I'll fight for, to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, this where we supposed to be fighting for equality and rights and justice for all. This is supposed to be the only democracy on the planet. Mm-hmm. You telling me that this nation does not believe that the people who suffered those atrocities, these are our ancestors. We're nothing without them. Why can't they rest in peace? Why don't they deserve that? They never got to live free. Mm-hmm. There are children who never got that opportunity. They were taken out of their homes and forced to go work for someone and be treated as a product. Sometimes you'll look up some of these atrocities that have happened to black people and realize it wasn't but 70 years ago. Mm-hmm. Grandma was here. She saw it with her own eyes. She felt it with her own life. And I can look at my grandmother's life, my grandfather's life, my great-grandfather's life. We don't have to go that far and see what they had and what they had to work with compared to what we were given to work with and what we were able to do with it. When they say the American dream and you look at what people like myself have been in position to build, look at what my grandparents had to go through first. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we ain't got to go back to the 12th, to the 15th century to imagine what our people were having to work with and what they were given. And this nation, the nation, if you ask us, I get that if you vote yes, it makes a lot of the things that we have been taught a lie. I get what the three nations who all voted against it have in common. Mm-hmm. But for me to sit anywhere in life with a platform and not address how that took my breath away and how that made me feel as a Black American, I'm appalled. I'm speechless on a radio show. I'm appalled. I can't believe that that's the same nation that my grandfather fought in Vietnam for. And I saw what the rest of his life looked like. That's the same nation. We don't deserve, you don't want to pay the reparations, cool. We don't deserve the acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
One of the pieces of the vote was we get an apology. Before the reparations was, yo, say sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't even doing that. Because let it go. Get over it. Forgive. Yeah, all that sounds good on the surface. It sounds amazing. However, some things, not all, but some things are worth fighting for forever. Our ancestors died for this. Who are we not to live for it? Quote of the week. I think to sum it all up, I'll say this. Power does not change people. It reveals them. And I believe that to be true. And in terms of accountability, I'm struggling with that in my own life of when do you force people to be accountable and when do you let it go? And I just don't think that there are accountability when you are up against people who are in those same positions of power I was speaking of earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no accountability. Look at the fact that I believe in 48 states, if a bartender overserves someone and they go out and kill someone, they can be held liable.
Mm-hmm.
But in 0 states, if a judge lets a criminal go free and they go out and kill someone, are they held liable? Why?
Double standard.
Position of power.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have to be accountability when the person is in the position of power. And I'm struggling that in a lot of different phases and places in my life. And I've told y'all all week, I'm going to start getting into some things I haven't wanted to really speak about on Patreon. And I'm going to do it today because I'm going through that with a group of people in my life. And with that being said, I don't want y'all to miss any of these shows coming up because I'm on a run right now. And shout out to the places we have been, but more importantly, shout out to the places we are going.
And these are the places and dates. Saturday, April 18th, New Orleans. Saturday, May 2nd, Memphis. Thursday, May 7th, Charlotte. Thursday, June 11th, Kansas City. Saturday, July 25th, Atlanta. Sunday, August 23rd, New York City. And Dallas, Texas, we'll have a date for you next week.
Hey, coming to a city near you. All right, so please keep us in your prayers. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for listening. And I will see you all hopefully very soon this summer as we are on this tour.
And let's get the chat going on Patreon. I feel like sometimes there's some of the listeners that do add a comment, but let's see where you guys are listening from.
Patronizers, y'all not chatty enough. Let's get to it. All right, love y'all. Next week, bitches.
I've been zoning, going through the motions, smoking cigarillos, homie, that's my ibuprofen. Day to day, I be trying to just cope with the lies that life told me, the signs that God showed me, yeah. Sometimes I be lonely, I hide my emotions since I can't control them, yeah. That my eyes keep them open, people try when you ain't social, I'm tired of being normal, yeah. They put a nigga in the corner back. Against the wall, I'm throwing bombs like a quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong, it seems like trouble is just automatic. Yeah, I be calm, but maybe I should turn to savage. Yeah, maybe I should.